Welcome to this short podcast where I will discuss the difference between the settlement purpose and the leadership regarding the colonization in Hispaniola versus Virginia. First of all, there is quite a big time span between these colonizations. The voyage to Hispaniola occurred in 1493, while the one to Virginia took place in 1607. To start with, I am going to tell some background information about the two voyages. Christopher Columbus led the one to Hispaniola, and the purpose was to build a small town called Isabella, which now in present time is located in Dominican Republic. Isabella was named after the English queen who was very important to Columbus. The voyage to Virginia, on the other hand, was led by several leaders and is often called the first permanent English settlement. The plan was to develop an English colony in Virginia. What the both voyages have in common is the loss of many human lives. Only 20% of the men who traveled to Virginia survived, and the trip to Hispaniola was not much better. After a while, a lot of the men got sick, and those who didn't had to work. With Columbus pushing them hard, this was almost as bad as death itself. The leadership between the both voyages differ a lot. Columbus was a strong leader with a hard voice. He stood above all the men, and he even built a house for himself. The leadership on the trip to Virginia, on the other hand, is very different. From the start, it was led by both John Smith and Edward Wingfield, but as the time went, the leaders changed. As I already discussed, many people died during this trip, and so did the leaders. Of course, the different leadership had an impact. People on Christopher Columbus' voyage often died from hard work or sickness. In Virginia, on the other hand, a lot of the deaths were caused by the lack of food or in some cases of injuries caused by the savages. A very big difference between the both settlements is the relationship to the Native Americans. In Hispaniola, there is not much to say. They built the city without really caring for the natives. In Virginia, on the other hand, the natives played a bigger part. The Englishmen called the natives savages, and the relationship was quite peaceful. The natives let the Englishmen take land, but there were also some complications involved. The loss was big for both voyages, and I would say that the least successful one was Columbus. Isabella never became the town he wanted to, and it only survived until 1496 when he decided to build a new town on the island. In Virginia, new ships came over the years, and in the first 15 years, 10,000 people left inland for Virginia. Sadly, only 20% of them survived. Thank you for watching this podcast.